How's it going, YouTube? Van Damage here with a new video series. As you can tell, my do-it-yourself side just kind of fell off. I've built everything I want to build, and now I'm just rehashing the same thing over and over again, putting videos up in hopes I get views or, help somebody out along the way of their build. And, I kind of don't want to do that anymore because I've done it. I built it. I have a lot of crap just sitting around my house that I've built, and I'm like, I don't use this anymore. So I'm going to do a new video series, and as you can tell from the video title and description, it's going to be called In the Vault or From the Vault. I haven't decided just yet. I'll figure it out whenever I upload the video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my camera, put it in my safe. As you can see, this bag bar, you're actually in my safe. You're in my vault. Oh. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little brief history on the firearms that I collect. I like to collect the classic and vintage firearms, so read that as World War II and earlier, or firearms designed before World War II, but may still be made today. 1911 is a hint. That's one of them. That's how I'm going to be doing this particular series. One day I might be able to get out to a range that will allow me to record video of me actually shooting, and then you can see these particular firearms in action. So give me a little bit of time to find a range that will allow me to do that, and we'll get to it. But today, as you can see from the video description below, this is going to be on my Winchester 1897 12-gauge shotgun, also known as the riot gun. Ooh, or as some of you may know, you more gun aficionado types, the trench gun. Yes, this is the particular shotgun that they used for trench warfare in World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and Vietnam. Yeah, this gun did not go away for a very long time, and it's surprising because they only made about, less than 1 million of them. So, for a firearm that was widely used by police departments and the military, that's not a whole lot of numbers. As you would see from, say the Garand, the carbine, things like that, where it was in the millions. This was only made less than 1 million. And somehow, I lucked out and got 3 of them. Yeah, it's supposed to rattle like that. This is not, however, a trench gun. It is not a riot control gun. This is the commercial breakdown model. So why was this particular firearm so loved by the military? Well, particularly because it pissed off the Germans in World War I. They actually held a convention saying, hey, this is inhumane. You got to stop using it. And if we capture your guys that use these guns, we're going to execute them just on principle. The U.S. was like, bruh, mustard gas, flamethrower. Nah, we'll execute all your prisoners if you execute one of our guys carrying this particular gun. So, good luck with that. And not only was this an amazing firearm because it could hold 5 in this tube, and you could put 1 in here. Actually, some models, you could even fit 6 in the tube. If you know the Hitchcock 45 channel, he was actually able to fit 6 shells, 6 of the 12-gauge 2 3/4 shells into his particular Model 12. And this is also known as the Model 12. So depending on, how your tube feeder was and whatnot, you can fit a little bit more than 5 in it. But, U.S. troops would go in the trenches and they'd just be like, boom, boom. Or they would slam fire the sumbitch. You could go through an entire tube in seconds with this particular gun, which if you were unlucky enough to jump into a trench and it was full of Germans, it was very, very, very nifty to have. And not only that, but on the end of it, well, it only ended right here. It ended about right here. It wasn't a very long tube, but they had a very nasty bayonet attached to the end of this thing. I wouldn't even call it a bayonet because it was more like a sword. The blade measured over 17 inches long. That's a short sword. So not only would you get, greeted with this thing of beaut, but after they shot all the rounds out of it, they'd just basically run up and stab you with it and sword fight with you. Or, if it were me, I'd use it as a javelin and just freaking spear somebody and then pull out my 1911 and just pop, 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 or, you know, whatever particular firearm that they were carrying. This is an impressive gun, though. Like I said earlier, it was used all the way up to Vietnam. To me, this is my favorite kind of shotgun, though. Mostly because, not only because of the mechanical beauty of it, and I'm going to do... None of my firearms are ever loaded, just to give you a heads up. But just the mechanics of it, you know. It's not often that you see a shotgun with a trapdoor that falls there, the hammer that slides back, or the bolt carrier group that slides back, hammer there. You know, it's not often you see a firearm like this in shotgun form. You'll see it with lever actions where, you know, it's got the external hammer and, you know, the slide that comes back. You know, you see that with lever, but you don't see it with shotguns. You know, you can give me a Mossberg 500, and, you know, I'll enjoy shooting it, but it just doesn't have the same feel as this 100-year-old firearm. Mine is also a takedown model, so what that means is you can actually break this gun in half, which was very handy back then, particularly with the commercial model like I have, because, you know, you just twist the tube, turn that, give it a 45-degree turn, or 90-degree turn, and boom. You broke it in half, you can store it in a suitcase, briefcase, whatever, and transport it. So you didn't have to have ungodly, you know, massive cases to keep these things in. Ow! And you gotta watch for that, because that will smash your hand. When you're firing it, not so much, because your hand's, you know, your hand's a little bit lower on it. I'm gonna finish putting this together. But yeah, your hand will be a little bit lower on it, so not too much of a worry there. But you know, if your hand kept riding up, you could eventually smash it. But to me, this is by far my favorite shotgun of all history, and that's all I'm going to give you today. I might do another video of it later. Hopefully, I can find a range that will allow me to record on it, so I can show you how it fires, give you a demonstration of, you know, just click, click, boom, or boom, boom, which is slam fire, which is so much fun. But until I find a range that doesn't have that big old sign that says no video pictures allowed, you know, I can't really give you a video on it. But what I can tell you is owning a piece of history, you know, researching the history behind a firearm, knowing the history of it, learning what it did to shape future firearms, it's pretty neat, actually. So I hope you enjoyed this new video series that I'm doing. I'm gonna do a few more videos. I got some other firearms that I can use. And, you know, I hope you have a good day. I guess that's it. So if you like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, put up that little ding notification, because I'm going to try and do one of these every week, maybe every other week. I kind of got to pace myself out because I only have so many. But yeah, give my channel a like, share it with your friends, let me know what you think, let me know what you want to know about the firearm. And, you know, I'll update my videos as I go. That way I can, you know, whenever you have a question, I can answer it later on with that particular firearm. And we'll see how the channel goes from here. Have a good day, you guys.